It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Glen Affric Brewery, and this is a can of the Big Yin. It's a whiskey barrel-aged Scotch ale coming in at 14.4% ABV in a 330ml can. It reeks quality, this can, from the dark brown label to the gold imprint on the top. It makes you think that, wow, you have something really special in your hand. I hope I do. Without further ado then, let's get this can out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the can opening. Really impressive for a beer that I've had in my cupboard for over a year. But at 14.4% ABV, I've got no issue whatsoever with opening this beer after a year of it being in the can in my house. You could open this beer in 20 years' time and you would still experience the same quality as we have here today. Some beers have been designed to be drunk really quickly. Your New England IPAs, your IPAs, your pale ales, your golden ales. They've all been designed to be drunk within 10 to 12 weeks of being made. But this is like your old grandpa's pair of slippers that seem to be lasting, I don't know, 15, 20 years type of thing. Whenever you go and visit your old grandpa, he's still got the same old pair of slippers on. Whether he's crafty and he goes to Marks and Spencer's and picks up the same pair every year, I don't know. But my grandfather seems to have the same old reliable pair of slippers. And this is exactly what this beer is. It's something which likes to be aged. Likes to be stuck in a dark cupboard for years on end, like my grandfather. Right, good levels of carbonation, no head, the head's dissipated quite quickly, but for a barrel-aged beer, this is no problem whatsoever. What I found with barrel-aged beers is that they'll produce the beer, so this at 14.4% ABV. If I was to have a wild stab at this, they would have produced a 9% ABV barley wine, or a Scotch ale. And they would have stuck it in a barrel for 6 months, and then it would have gone up to 14.4% ABV because of the alcohol in the barrel has soaked itself into the beer. But at the same time, that same process, as the alcohol from the barrel is soaking into the beer, it's a chemical process. Something happens to the beer, the head dissipates. You never seem to have a big head on the beer, but then again, being a whiskey, you don't expect to have a head on a whiskey, do you? So it's that similar, that kind of same sort of thing that's going on. I'm not a brewer, I'm just somebody who really likes beer. And I'm doing my very best to explain a process to you as far as I know with my very limited kind of knowledge on the subject. So, we have a really dark liquid in the glass, good levels of carbonation. Let's get the aroma. Oh, yes! I'm so excited because I've had some of these big, strong beers from Glen Affric Brewery. I've been to Glen Affric Brewery. I've seen their barrel aging process. And I predict in the next few years that Glen Affric, with the amount of barrels that they have at their brewery, they are going to be one of the best places in the whole of the UK to pick up a barrel aged beer. Raisin, plum, fig, prune, a little bit of sweet malt, big kick of whiskey. You can hear the carbonation. I can let you have a listen as well. It's a bit hissy, it's a bit fizzy. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. There we are. Oh. Raisin, plum, fig, prune, dark fruits, whiskies. Oh. Oh. That's fabulous. That's fabulous. I'm picking up treacle. Treacle. There's a brewer in Yorkshire. I don't know if they still produce the beer, because I've not had it in years. It's a treacle stout. They produce, I can't even remember the name. They're a big company. They're a big company now, but they kind of like just do their own thing. They mind their own business. I think they own Saltaire. I think they begin with O. The brewery begins with Ocean or something. Ocean Treacle Stout. I haven't had this beer for 8 or 9 years. But this reminds me of that. Oh, it's like Ocean or something. Ocean Brewery or... I can't think of the name of the brewery, but it has, this beer has that same kind of treacle quality to it. It's sweet, burnt molasses, treacle, plum, figs, prunes, loads of your dark fruits. But there's a nice level of carbonation and pushes the beer on the inside of the mouth and releases more of that flavour. This is a big win-win. This is a big win-win of a beer. I can imagine being in the Highlands of Scotland, because Glen Affric is in the Highlands of Scotland, but they have a brewery in Liverpool, in Birkenhead in Liverpool. The plan going forward is to open a brewery in the Highlands of Scotland. So they'll have an English brewery in Liverpool, and they'll have a Scottish Highland brewery in Scotland. But I can just imagine, I've never been to the Highlands of Scotland, I've never have. I'd love to go one day, but I can imagine middle of January, freezing cold evening, with a glass of this in hand, with the fire roaring. There probably wouldn't be many better experiences in life. That feeling of being secure in a small stone house with the fire roaring, and you've got a glass of 14.4% ABV Scotch ale in your hand, barrel-aged Scotch ale. It's a bit of a fantasy. It's that kind of dreamland kind of stuff, isn't it? The stuff that Disney would write about. You know, horns and rugs on the floor and stone castles. It's a thing that Disney come up with. Right, anyway, let's get a little bit of a... there's not much. There's actually not much at all to read on the side of this can. Just a whiskey barrel-aged Scotch ale. 4.8 UK units. Suitable for vegans. There we are. And that's it. Let's rate it. To the guys at Glen Affric Brewery, this is the last barrel-aged beer that I do have in my portfolio of beers from you guys. That's it now. It did take me, well, actually, if I'm being honest, it took me about 18 months to get through all of the beers that were sent. But I got the hoppy ones done first. We left the barrel-aged ones till the end. But yeah, September... I'm recording this September 2021, and this is the last beer that we have from you guys. And what a ride! What an absolute ride that we've been on. An amazing ride. This isn't the end, by the way. I'm pretty sure in the future we might have another kind of parcel of barrel-aged beers coming down from Glen Affric Brewery. But for now, let's rate this beer. It's fabulous. It's absolutely fabulous. It's a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.